Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah if you're new here. Today I'm just going to go over with you guys a simple and easy way to make a digital planner in Keynote using a MacBook or any type of laptop that has Keynote. First things first, what you're going to want to do is open a blank presentation slide in Keynote. And you see all these text boxes here. You can just go ahead and delete all of these because you're not going to need them. Next, before we go into actually making our planner, we're going to go into the Documents section on the top right corner and change the slide size. So you're going to go down to the section that says Slide Size. There's various different sizes that you can choose from. You can choose a 4x3 or the landscape mode that they have already in place for you. But for today, for our purposes, we're going to do a custom slide size. And here you're going to type in 1235 by 795. I'm pretty much just going to go over the basics with you guys, such as doing hyperlinks so that you can select the tabs on your planners to take you to a certain month, or the ways to make the tabs and to link them, and to pretty much just do the basics. I'm not going to go over weekly and daily layouts. I'm just going to make a plain monthly layout, and if you guys want me to go even more in depth with another video, then go ahead and like this video and I'll make a follow-up video for this one. And comment down below any questions that you have after this video and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. But let's get straight into this. First, what I'm doing here is selecting a shape from the shape tool, and I'm selecting the square and I'm dragging it to the corner to be able to make it a size to fill up the whole page. And this is basically going to be our actual planner. The white part is the background, and that's going to be the background of your planner. Planners are very customizable, so you can make the background whatever you want. You can download a picture, a design from online if you want, or you can just simply change the color. And I'm just moving around this shape here to get it centered because this is going to be our book, almost looking like an actual planner that has the tabs attached to it. So if you go to the sidebar on the right side of the screen, you can use those features under the Format tab in order to change the color of the background and of your shape. And you can use that color wheel there to select an even broader variation of colors. And here I'm just selecting my background. And then you can also go in to change the color of your shape by selecting the shape and changing the color. There's so many ways to customize your planner. You can make rings in the center to make it look like a spiral notebook, or you can put a crease in the middle to look like the center of a book like I'm doing here. So how I'm doing that is I'm taking the shape tool and making a rectangle, a very, very skinny and thin rectangle, and stretching it all the way to the width of the rectangle that I've made. And basically you kind of just want to play around with the colors, make it kind of a light gray because you're going to want to make it look like a shadow. And then you also go to the right toolbar and select a shadow under the shadow section, and just play around with the shadows and figure out which one works and which one looks good for your planner, and just to make it look more realistic, almost like the shadow of the two pages. You just kind of have to play around with the colors and the shadowing to make it look realistic, and it's really just gonna vary. There's no specific thing that I ever do. I just try to make it look the best that I can, and Keynote can be a little bit tricky with the way that it snaps to the grid lines, but just zoom in and that might help you a little bit to get more control. Another thing that I like to do to make it look more like a realistic planner is to grab another rectangle from the shape section and change it to white, the same color of your other pages. And what you're going to basically do is make it the same size as your previous box that you have there, but you're going to make it slightly smaller. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull the right side of the box to the left a little bit so that they make it look like separate pages. It'll give it a cool 3D effect and make it look like multiple pages of a book lying on a desk. Hopefully the way that I explained that made sense to you, but you're going to do the same thing to the other side, and you're basically just trying to make it look like a realistic planner with actual 3D pages. Just follow along here what I'm doing if what I said didn't make sense, but you can kind of zoom in and play around with Keynote a little bit because it can be a little bit tricky and tedious to deal with. Now we're going to get straight into making the tabs for our months. So I go to the shapes tool and get the rounded square because I like the way that that looks for tabs more. And you basically just change it to whatever color that you want, whatever color your heart desires. I'm going with a more neutral theme here, so I'm using grays and whites. So my tabs are going to go on the right side of my journal, just like in a normal planner that you see. And you kind of size it up the way that you want. And I like to put it on the very top right edge of the page. And then you're going to go to the Arrange section here on the top right. And when you go to the Arrange section, you're going to move this tab behind the pages. So you're going to go to Arrange and hit Back. So that'll move it all the way to the back of every single page. After you've moved your first tab to the back of the pages, you're going to select it and make a copy of it. So press Command C and then Command V to make a second tab that is the same size. And you see me here kind of just adjusting the sizing that I want, but you don't have to worry so much about that right now. And you're going to move the other tab. I like the way that they look when they're overlapping. And then you're going to go to the Arrange section again for this tab and move it all the way to the back. So it should be behind even the first tab. So that's why you want it all the way in the back. And here I forgot to play around with the shadows, because if you add a shadow to the tabs as well, it makes it look even more realistic. So add a shadow to these, and then you're going to want to basically just copy all of these tabs, arrange them to the back so that all of them are behind each other in a sequence, and make 12 tabs. After you make your 12 tabs, you can select all of them, because this is how we're going to get them evenly spaced across the whole planner. And you're going to select all of them and then hit Group. And this will put them all as one, and you can stretch it out and move them all around, and they will be the exact same size, which is really, really nice and convenient. So in most planners, when you flip the page and you go to separate months, the tabs flip along with it. So for the sake of this planner, I'm going to teach you guys how to make tabs that almost look like they're flipping as you go to each month. So basically, first what you're going to want to do is duplicate the slide. After that, you can pretty much just drag your first tab all the way to the left side, and it should still be behind the pages because it'll still be in the same arrangement. But by the way, before you do this, make sure to go to the part of the video where I hyperlink the tabs, because it'll make it so much easier if you hyperlink them first. But I decided to make it hard on myself and hyperlink them after I moved around every single tab, and it just made the process a lot longer. So first, before you move all your tabs around, hyperlink them, because it'll make it, you won't have to link the tabs all over again for every single slide. And I'm just going in here and moving all of the tabs and duplicating each slide again, and then just moving one tab over each time. After you do that, another process to make your planner look a little bit neater is to make sure your tabs are aligned correctly. How you do that is you go into the Arrange section again and you select all of the tabs that you want using the Shift key, and then you go into Distribute and you select vertically. And basically this is going to even them out so that they are each the same width from each other, and it'll make it perfect. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I show you how to hyperlink your tabs so that you can click on them and it'll take you to the certain month. So how you do this is you select your tab. Make sure you're just selecting your tab, and you go to Format, and then you go to the section that says Link, and then you're going to link it to a certain slide. So for the first tab, you link it to slide 1, and then when you press the link, it'll take you straight to tab 1. And you're going to do this to all the other tabs. So for the second tab, for February, you're going to link it to slide 2, and then don't forget to link the flipped tabs as well. But keep in mind that it will make it a lot easier if you link your tabs before you move them around to make them look flipped. I linked all of my tabs here, so now I'm just going to the first slide to make the January layout, because we're going to basically make this layout how you want it and then copy and paste it to all the other pages and just change the month title. So first I'm adding a text box, and I'm going to select my font and my size, and you can make it a title like I'm doing here. And I choose the font American Typewriter, and because I like the way that it looks. After that, we're going to use the table function to make a monthly layout. So I'm going to use the table, and since I'm doing 2 separate pages here, I'm going to make 2 separate graphs, because obviously in a book the graph would not overlap the seam in the middle. So I'm making 2 separate graphs here, and I'm trying to make them the same size box so that it looks even. And you're going to do 7 columns and 5 rows. After you played around with your graph a little bit to figure out the way that you like it, now you're going to add another text box to make the titles for the days of the week. And I'm using the same font, American Typewriter, and then just go ahead and line it up on top of your column the way that you want it, and then just copy and paste it for each day of the week. To add a little bit of design to this, I'm going to add some extra squares to the top right corner of my graph to make it almost like a section where you put the date for your calendar. Here I'm basically making the rectangle the color and size that I want, and then moving it to the place in the table that I want it to be, and then just copying and pasting it throughout the calendar and filling every single box. And the cool thing about these little boxes is that if you were to go even more in depth and make little weekly or daily layouts, you can use these boxes to hyperlink them so that it would take you to a daily layout. After that, we're going to copy and paste this template to every single page. So something that'll help you with copying is making sure to lock the actual white page underneath the graph, because if you lock it, it'll be easier to copy and paste all of these boxes and graphs and texts. And just go ahead and copy and paste these to every single monthly layout, and you can just change your text boxes for the title of each month and center it for each month to make it look the way that you want. Another thing you can do for your planner is add labels to your tabs. I'm not going to do all of the tabs for the sake of this video just because this video is already getting long, but you can add text box and for the abbreviations of each month, and then rotate it, and then just move it straight on top of the tab and adjust it using the arrows on your keyboard or whatever makes it easiest, and that's a nice way to label all of your tabs. After I finished all of the monthly layouts, I'm hitting the play button at the top just to test all of the hyperlinks. And here I got a little bit confused why the first tab was going to February. I thought that I labeled the link wrong, but it was really just because the slideshow format was thinking that I was hitting the top right to go to the next slide, but instead I was actually trying to hit the link. But basically, I ended up doing it right, but I thought I had done it wrong. So just make sure to check your links, because if you have one link wrong, it can mess up a lot. So just keep checking them and making sure that you're keeping up with all your links, especially when you get to weekly layouts and daily layouts, because the links can get very, very tedious. And after you've checked all of your links, that's pretty much it for all of the basics in Keynote. You can get a lot more customizable with it, and you can do so much with the digital planner, but I just wanted to basically touch the surface with you guys and get you started, help you to understand the beginning of making a digital planner in Keynote on a MacBook, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this video if you want to see a follow-up for more in-depth videos on making a digital planner, and comment down below any questions at all, and I will try my best to answer them. You can also do all of these things on an iPad with the Keynote app, and I'm pretty sure that you can also log into Keynote on a Windows device or any type of Android or just non-Apple laptop and do the same kind of stuff, or even in PowerPoint. I know you can do hyperlinks in PowerPoint. Once again, I know I've said this so many times, but a digital planner is so customizable. You can go so in depth with it and make it however you want. When you buy a planner from Barnes & Noble or wherever, you can't customize the planner the way that you want to unless you add stickers and stuff, but this, you can truly customize it so much. So let me know if you guys want me to go into even more detail about it, and I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.